Rebecca Romney emerged in popular culture as an unusually composed and articulate rare book specialist on the reality television series Pawn Stars. While the show was primarily known for fast-paced negotiations over historical artifacts, collectibles, and pop culture memorabilia, Romney brought a different energy whenever she appeared. Her role was to evaluate rare printed works with academic precision, often translating complex bibliographic details into clear explanations for a general audience. Viewers were struck by her calm demeanor and ability to assign meaningful value to centuries-old texts without theatrics or exaggeration. One of the most widely circulated anecdotes about her appearances involves her estimating a rare early 19th century religious text at tens of thousands of dollars, while maintaining a light sense of humor that contrasted with the high-stakes bargaining happening on screen. Over time, she became one of the most trusted experts featured on the program, frequently called upon when books, manuscripts, or historically significant printed works entered the pawn shop. Her presence helped broaden the show's scope beyond jewelry, weapons, and collectibles, introducing audiences to the nuanced world of antiquarian book collecting and preservation. Early fascination with language and intellectual curiosity. Long before television exposure or professional recognition, Rebecca Romney's interests were rooted in language, literature, and systems of meaning. Growing up in Phoenix, Arizona, she developed an early fascination with how language structures thought and preserves culture. This curiosity evolved into a deep engagement with multiple languages, including English, French, Japanese, Latin, Ancient Greek, and Old English. Rather than treating languages as academic requirements, she approached them as living systems, each with its own logic and cultural history. This multilingual foundation later became central to her career, allowing her to decode historical texts and identify subtle distinctions in rare editions. Her intellectual curiosity extended beyond linguistics into philosophy, where she explored questions of meaning, ethics, and human knowledge. This combination of interests shaped a mind particularly suited for rare books, where historical context, textual variation, and linguistic detail all intersect. Even before entering the professional world, she was already building the analytical habits that would later define her expertise in antiquarian literature and manuscript evaluation, academic formation, and philosophical foundations. Rebecca Romney pursued formal studies at Brigham Young University, where she focused on philosophy and classical studies. Her academic training reinforced her interest in how ideas are transmitted across time through written language. She studied ancient texts not only for their content but also for their historical significance and the ways in which translation and copying altered meaning across centuries. This background gave her a rare combination of philosophical reasoning and philological precision. During her university years, she engaged deeply with classical thought, learning to interpret complex arguments and trace intellectual lineages from antiquity to modern philosophy. These skills later proved essential in the rare book trade, where understanding provenance, edition history, and textual variation can dramatically affect valuation. Her education also strengthened her ability to communicate complex ideas clearly, a trait that would become especially valuable in her later television appearances. By the time she graduated with honors, she had already developed a multidisciplinary approach that blended language, history, and analytical philosophy into a cohesive intellectual toolkit. An unexpected entry into the rare book trade. Romney's entry into the rare book world was not the result of a carefully planned career path, but rather an unexpected turn of events. She applied for a position at Bauman Rare Books, initially believing the role to be more general in nature. Upon realizing the position required specialized knowledge of antiquarian literature, she briefly reconsidered whether she was qualified. However, her linguistic background and analytical mindset made a strong impression during the interview process. The firm recognized that while she may not have had traditional training in book history, her ability to learn quickly and engage deeply with texts was exceptional. She was hired and quickly immersed herself in the world of rare books, where she learned to evaluate first editions, identify forgeries, and understand the historical significance of printed works. Her early days in the company involved handling highly valuable items, including early printed works and significant literary editions. This rapid immersion allowed her to develop professional expertise at an accelerated pace, setting the foundation for a career that would soon extend beyond the bookstore into public recognition. Rapid professional growth and mastery of rare books. Once inside Bauman Rare Books, Romney advanced quickly due to her ability to absorb complex bibliographic knowledge and apply it in real-world evaluations. She became proficient in identifying first editions, understanding printing histories, and recognizing subtle indicators of authenticity or reproduction. Her work involved handling some of the most significant printed works in Western literary history, including early Shakespeare editions, scientific treatises, and foundational philosophical texts. She eventually took on leadership responsibilities, managing operations in one of the company's major gallery locations. This role required not only expertise in rare books but also business acumen, as she helped oversee acquisitions, sales, and client relationships with collectors and institutions. Her reputation within the company grew steadily, and she became known for her precision, calm judgment, and ability to explain complex historical details in accessible terms. By the early 2010s, she had established herself as one of the younger rising figures in the antiquarian book trade, combining scholarly rigor with practical commercial experience in a field that demands both transition to television and cultural recognition. Romney's expertise eventually led to her introduction to the world of television through her appearances on Pawn Stars. She was invited to serve as a rare book expert for items brought into the pawn shop, providing authoritative assessments that helped guide negotiations. Her first appearances were well received, as she brought a calm, scholarly presence that contrasted with the show's often chaotic bargaining style. Producers and viewers alike appreciated her ability to explain why certain books carried significant historical and monetary value. She became a recurring expert on the program, appearing in multiple episodes over several years. Her role helped educate audiences about the importance of provenance, condition, and edition history in determining the value of rare printed works. While the show was entertainment-driven, her segments often functioned as informal lessons in bibliographic scholarship. Through television, she reached a far broader audience than the rare book trade typically allows, becoming one of the most recognizable figures associated with modern antiquarian book expertise. Appraisal philosophy and memorable on-screen moments. Romney's appraisal style on Pawn Stars was defined by restraint, clarity, and academic grounding. Rather than inflating values for dramatic effect, she focused on explaining the historical context and market realities behind each item she evaluated. This approach made her assessments feel credible and educational, even within the entertainment framework of the show. She often emphasized the importance of understanding an object's provenance, printing history, and condition before assigning any monetary estimate. Among her most discussed appearances were evaluations of rare literary and historical texts, where she calmly broke down why certain editions carried substantial value due to scarcity and historical significance. Her interactions with the shop's staff, particularly during negotiations, often balanced humor with careful analysis. These moments helped demystify the rare book market for viewers who may have had little prior exposure to it. Over time, she became associated with a sense of intellectual seriousness on a show otherwise known for its casual and sometimes comedic approach to buying and selling antiques. Rumors, misunderstandings, and the question of controversy. At various points during and after her television appearances, online discussions circulated speculative narratives involving rare book transactions and alleged legal complications surrounding certain items. One frequently repeated story involved a rare 19th-century religious text and questions about its provenance. However, there is no verified public record confirming any criminal charges, FBI seizures, or institutional disputes directly tied to Romney herself in connection with these appearances. Much of the speculation appears to have originated from internet rumor cycles rather than documented legal proceedings. In reality, Rare book experts often work within complex markets where provenance and ownership history can sometimes be unclear, but this does not inherently imply wrongdoing by appraisers. Romney's role on television was limited to evaluation and consultation, not ownership or sale facilitation of disputed materials. Over time, she gradually reduced her appearances on the show, which is common for experts who shift focus back to private sector work. The absence of public statements about her departure contributed to curiosity, but there is no substantiated evidence of controversy forcing her exit. Life after television and continued professional evolution. Following her time on Pawn Stars, Romney continued to build her career within the rare book world, focusing more on private scholarship and business development. She relocated professionally and took on senior roles that allowed her to engage more deeply with collectors, institutions, and the broader antiquarian trade. Rather than remaining in the public eye, she shifted toward shaping the field from behind the scenes. This transition reflected a broader pattern among specialists who briefly enter media visibility before returning to industry-focused work. Her continued involvement in rare books ensured that her expertise remained active and evolving, particularly as the market adapted to digital cataloging and changing collector demographics. While she was no longer a regular television presence, her influence persisted through professional networks and collaborations within the antiquarian community. This period marked a shift from public-facing expertise to a more sustained, industry-shaping role grounded in long-term engagement with rare printed works, entrepreneurship, writing, and intellectual contribution. Romney expanded her impact on the rare book world through entrepreneurship and authorship. She co-founded Type Punch Matrix, a rare book firm based in Washington, D.C., aimed at rethinking how antiquarian books are evaluated, described, and sold. This venture emphasized transparency, scholarship, and accessibility in a field often perceived as opaque. In addition to her business work, she became a published author. She co-wrote Printer's Error, Irreverent Stories from Book History with J.P. Romney, a work that explores unusual and overlooked moments in the history of printing. She also authored Jane Austen's Bookshelf, which examines the literary influences that shaped Jane Austen's reading life and intellectual development. Through writing, she extended her expertise beyond commercial valuation into cultural analysis, helping readers understand how books function as historical artifacts as well as literary works. Her dual role as entrepreneur and author reflects a broader commitment to preserving and interpreting the history of printed knowledge, enduring influence in the world of rare books. Rebecca Romney's career reflects a unique intersection of scholarship, commerce, and public communication. From her early fascination with language to her unexpected entry into the rare book trade, she developed a skill set that allowed her to navigate both academic and commercial environments with equal confidence. Her appearances on Pawn Stars introduced a wide audience to the intricacies of antiquarian books, while her later work in publishing and entrepreneurship helped shape how rare books are studied and sold today. Rather than being defined solely by television exposure, her legacy lies in her contribution to making rare book scholarship more accessible and intelligible. She demonstrated that expertise in historical texts is not only about valuation but also about storytelling, context, and preservation. Today, she is regarded within the rare book community as a figure who helped bridge the gap between academic bibliography and public understanding, ensuring that the history embedded in printed works continues to be appreciated by both specialists and general audiences alike.